Hi, my name is Cassie, otherwise known as the Doll Doctor, and today we are going to be making a doll that looks like me. I started with a Truly Me 88. If you cannot tell, I'm super duper pale, so her skin tone definitely matches mine the best because it's a little lighter than most AG dolls, so that's why I'm starting with her as a base. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is swapping the eyes. Truly Me 88's eyes are already blue, but my eyes kind of have a little bit of green to them. They're kind of lighter in the middle, even though they're mostly blue. So I got these eyes because they look the closest to mine, and they also, you can order with different colors of lashes and lids. So these ones have the blonde lashes to match mine as well. So now I'm in the kitchen getting ready to swap the doll eyes. The very first step is going to be to fill your doll's head with water. Once your doll's head is filled with water, that way you know you have enough water to pour into the head, you're going to dump it into a microwave safe container. There you go. And you're going to put it in the microwave until it boils. Now that can vary from microwave to microwave. So I usually put it in for a few minutes and just kind of watch it to see when it boils. You can always put it in a little longer if you need to. And once it is boiling, you can go ahead and take it out. So I'm going to go ahead and boil this water. As soon as our water comes out of the microwave, we are going to be dealing with some very hot water and putting it into a doll head that's going to quickly get quite warm. So I would recommend investing in some heat-proof gloves. They just make it a lot easier because you can handle things that are a lot hotter, and this protects you from getting burnt. Alright, so now I have my water, which I don't know if you guys can tell, but it is very hot. And you are going to take that water and pour it back into the head. Make sure to pour this carefully, especially if you are not wearing heat-proof gloves, because you do not want this hot water getting onto your hands. Okay, so now my head is all filled up again. You are going to hold it like this to kind of keep that warmth trapped in there. Okay, so I've held the water inside the head for about 2 minutes now. We're gonna go ahead and pour the water back into our container in case we need to use it again. As you can see, I have a very squishy head. So you're gonna need to stick your fingers inside of there. I would recommend using the thumb, and you are just going to pop the eye out. You're just going to push with your thumb as hard as you can until it pops out. And do the same with the other eyeball. And here is my girly with no eyes. Now I am going to heat her again using the same method before I try to pop her new eyes in. So while we're waiting for the water to reheat, I wanted to make sure that you guys knew that eye swaps are not easy. This has taken me years of practice to be able to do it that quickly. And yes, I really did just pop them out that quickly. But when I started out, I could not even do them myself. I had to have somebody help me pop them in and out. So my biggest advice to you is don't give up. It does get easier with experience. If it doesn't work, heat up some more water after the head's cooled and try it again. So this is the eye that came out of Truly Me 88. You can kind of see how its casing is shaped. This is the eye that is going in to my doll, and you can see the difference in how its casing is shaped. Now you'll be able to see once it's inside the doll, like it's not gonna look like, oh my gosh, I can tell that's a different size than the AG eye. but they're shaped just differently enough that I think this one is significantly easier to pop in. So that's why I would recommend for anybody doing eye swabs, especially if this is your first attempt, and even if you're more experienced, try Doll of a Kind eyes if you're having a hard time getting the American Girl eyes in, because I still struggle with putting these eyes back in, but the Doll of a Kind eyes I have not had any issues with popping in, because they're just shaped to be customizer friendly and easy to swap in. So the hot water has been in the head for about 2 minutes again. As you can see, it's starting to get quite squishy. So I'm going to pour it back into our container. So while your head is still nice and warm, you're going to position the eyeball so it's just over the socket like this. You're going to squeeze with one hand and push with the other until it goes in. Then you are going to do the same with the other eyeball. All right, so one of the eyes decided it was going to be a bit more camera shy, and it went in a little sideways. If you can't tell, you definitely can. It went in a little more sideways, but that's okay. You're going to grab a toothpick. Make sure you're pushing against the metal casing rather than against the actual eye, because you don't want to damage the eye itself by scratching it or anything. But using just a toothpick, you can pretty easily turn the eyes until they're facing exactly the direction that you want them to be going. There we go. That's looking much better. So you can play with them until they're straight. Once they are looking more exactly like you want them to, you can kind of fan the eyelashes as well, to make sure that they are looking nice and beautiful. So this is what she looks like after her eye swap. Thank you so much for watching this video. If it was helpful or inspirational to you, please let me know in the comments down below. And give this video a like, and go ahead and give the Doll Doctor a subscribe. If you want to see what happens next with the Kassi doll, stay tuned for next week's video. This is Kassi the Doll Doctor, signing off.